Okay, let's talk Instagram stories. You know those little circles right at the top of the app?
Everyone sees them.
Exactly. But what if they're not just for like random daily updates? What if they're actually a key to boosting your profile?
Yeah, moving beyond just sharing your lunch, you mean.
Totally. We're going deep today on how strategic stories can drive real traffic, get you more followers. And hey, if you're looking to speed things up, check out rapidboost.net. They help creators and brands accelerate growth with targeted strategies and follower campaigns. Worth a look.
Good resource.
So, back to stories. Why them? What makes them so powerful for growth compared to, say, a regular post or even reels?
Well, the big thing is visibility. Right off the bat, stories are at the very top of the feed. That's prime real estate.
The first thing you see, basically.
Pretty much. Think about how you use the app. You often tap through stories before you even start scrolling the main feed, right? So that immediate exposure is a huge, huge plus.
It's like getting front page news placement, but, on Instagram.
Exactly. And it's not just about being seen. Stories are built for interaction.
Oh, yeah, all those stickers and stuff, polls, quizzes.
Right. Polls, quizzes, sliders, question boxes, music, links now for everyone. Instagram loaded them with interactive features.
And that's not just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
It actually does something.
It does. See, when people tap, vote, slide, ask questions, they're engaging. And that engagement is a signal.
A signal to the algorithm.
Precisely. It tells Instagram, hey, people like this content, which can mean your stories get shown to more people, even maybe outside your current followers. It creates this positive feedback loop.
Okay, that makes sense. More interaction equals more potential reach equals more profile clicks potentially.
You got it. Plus, there's this other layer. Stories often feel more, I don't know, real, less polished than the main feed.
Yeah, like the behind the scenes stuff, the unedited moments.
Exactly that. It's a humanizing element.
Yeah.
Because they feel more immediate and less curated, they build trust. People feel like they're getting a genuine peek.
And that makes them curious.
Totally. That curiosity often leads them to tap on your profile picture to see what else you're about. It builds that connection.
Okay, so we've established the why. Stories are visible, they encourage interaction, they feel authentic. But how do we actually use them to get clicks, to get people to that profile and hit follow? What kind of content works?
Right, this is where strategy comes in. You need to be intentional. Think beyond just sharing what you're doing.
So not just the coffee picture.
Unless the coffee picture leads somewhere, a really effective tactic is using stories as teasers.
Teasers, like for feed posts.
Yeah, or reels or blog posts, anything. Share a really compelling snippet, like a cool visual or a provocative question from your new post. Then add a clear call to action.
Like new post up. Is that enough?
You can do better. Try tap here to see the full look, or link in bio for the full story, and use visual cues arrows pointing to your profile icon, GIFs, stickers. Make it obvious where you want them to go.
Like that fashion influencer example you mentioned. The try-on clip with guess the final outfit, check my latest post.
Exactly. It creates intrigue, makes people want to know the answer so they click over. What else? Live video is huge too.
Instagram Live, how does that fit in?
Lives create urgency. People get notifications, they jump in, it gets prioritized in the story feed while it's happening. Big visibility boost.
And then it just disappears.
Doesn't have to. That's where highlights come in. Save your best lives, your best informational stories, your top tips into curated highlights on your profile.
Okay, so they stick around.
Yeah, they become like evergreen content, mini trailers for your profile. New visitors can browse them anytime to get a feel for what you offer. It's like your profile's welcome mat.
I like that welcome mat. Makes
Mhm.
sense. What about sharing stuff other people post about you? User-generated content.
Oh, UGC is gold. Sharing posts or stories where people tag you does a couple of things. One, it validates your community, makes them feel appreciated. Big for loyalty. Two, when you reshare, their audience sees it too. It's like free advertising, expanding your reach organically. Someone might see their friend raving about you and click over to check you out.
Nice. So leveraging your existing audience to reach new ones. What
Right.
about those like mini tutorial type stories? Quick tips.
Value, value, value. Little bite-sized tutorials, quick how-tos, answers to common questions. These position you as a helpful resource.
So you give them a little taste.
Exactly, a taste of your expertise. And if they find it useful, they're much more likely to visit your profile or click the link in your bio to get the full guide, the deeper dive, the product you mentioned. Give value first, then guide them to the next step.
Right. Right. Build that trust. Now, let's circle back to those interactive features, the polls, the quizzes, the question stickers. You said they boost engagement, which helps visibility. But do they directly make people click on your profiles? Or something else going on there?
There can be, yeah. There's a bit of psychology involved. Polls and quizzes, for instance, they kind of play on our desire for completion. Well, you answer a poll, maybe you want to see the final results later. Or you start a quiz, you want the answer. That might prompt a return visit to the profile where maybe you've posted the results or the full answer.
Ah, interesting. Like leaving a little open loop.
Sort of, yeah. And question stickers are fantastic for direct interaction. People feel heard. Plus, the questions they ask can give you amazing ideas for content to put on your main profile feed later.
Okay, that's smart. Using questions to fuel future content. And you mentioned a case study. Plant Queen.
Yeah, Plant Queen, they did weekly plant polls, super simple stuff. They saw, I think it was a 23% increase in profile visits over a month just from consistent interactive polls, and a nice little bump in new followers, too.
Wow, 23% from polls. That's significant. What about things like the countdown or reminder stickers for like launches or events?
Those are designed specifically to drive action. You announce something, a sale, a webinar, a new video dropping, and people can tap to set a reminder.
And Instagram notifies them.
Yep. When the time comes, they get a notification. That often prompts them to click straight through to your profile or the relevant link so they don't miss out. It turns passive viewing into active intent.
Okay, connects the story directly to an action.
Yeah.
And the link sticker, now that most people have it, how does that play into driving traffic, even if it sends them off Instagram?
The link sticker is powerful. Obviously, it can send people directly to your website, your shop, a landing page. But even when you link out, it reinforces your profile as the hub.
How?
Because you're providing value through your Instagram. People see you sharing useful external resources. It makes them think, what else do they have on their actual profile? They might click the link and then pop over to your profile too. It strengthens your Instagram presence overall.
Got it. So even external links can indirectly boost profile interest. This is a lot to manage, though. The content ideas, the interactive bits, tracking it all. How do you stay consistent without getting overwhelmed?
Yeah, it can feel like a lot. The key is planning. A strategic content calendar is honestly essential.
Really? A calendar for stories?
Absolutely. Just winging it every day leads to inconsistency, maybe burnout. Planning helps you ensure you're hitting your goals, staying on message.
What does that look like?
Maybe theme your days. Like Mondays are for behind the scenes, Wednesdays are tutorial snippets, Fridays are Q&As using the question sticker.
Ah, okay. So people know what to expect.
Exactly. It builds anticipation, encourages habitual viewing. Plus, it makes your life easier because you have a framework. You're not starting from scratch every single morning.
That makes a lot of sense. Less daily panic. What else goes into a good story strategy?
Mix it up. Blend that evergreen content, the stuff that's always relevant, with trending topics or sounds. Trends give you reach spikes. Evergreen provides long-term value.
Okay, balance.
And crucially, you have to look at your analytics. Instagram Insights for Stories tells you so much.
Yeah.
Which stories get the most taps forward, taps back, replies, exits, and importantly, profile visits. See what resonates, what times work best, what topics get people clicking. Use that data to refine your approach. Don't just post and forget. Analyze and adapt.
Test, learn, iterate. Got it. Okay, let's shift slightly. Visuals. Does how our stories look matter for getting profile clicks?
Oh, absolutely. Visual consistency is huge for recognition. Think about it. You scroll through stories fast. If yours always have a similar look and feel,
You recognize them instantly.
exactly. Consistent colors, fonts, maybe a specific filter or overlay style, it builds brand recall. Think Glossier, think Nike. You know their style immediately, even in a quick story.
Like that Gary Vee example, the bold white text, the yellow background. You see it, you know it's him.
Precisely that. It creates familiarity, it makes people more likely to stop and watch, and maybe click through if they trust your brand.
Okay, so visuals build recognition. What about the storytelling aspect within the stories themselves? Can crafting a little narrative help?
Definitely. Humans are wired for stories. Instead of just random, disconnected clips, try weaving a mini narrative across a few story frames.
Like a beginning, middle, end.
Sort of. Maybe start with a problem or a question. Show a bit of the process or the journey, then the result or the answer. And, crucially, end with a hook or a question that ties back to your profile.
Want to see the final result? Check my latest post, or learn how I did this link in bio kind of thing?
Exactly. It creates engagement and makes visiting your profile the logical next step to complete the story. It feels natural, not forced.
This has been super insightful. Okay, let's distill this. If someone listening wants to start today, what are the key actionable steps they should take to turn their stories into a profile traffic machine.
All right, let's make it practical. Step 1, plan out your next week of stories. Just rough themes, maybe prep some simple templates. Consistency starts with planning.
Okay, plan ahead.
Step 2, use interactive elements in almost every story. Polls, quizzes, sliders, questions, whatever fits, and respond when people engage. Show you're listening.
Interact back. Got it.
Step 3, create what I call profile push moments. At least twice a week, post a story that explicitly teases something valuable info, an offer, content that requires a profile visit. Use those visual cues we talked about.
Make the ask clear what's for.
Curate and use highlights. Save your best evergreen content there. Think FAQs. About us, testimonials, tutorials. Organize them clearly and update them regularly, maybe monthly.
Keep the highlights fresh.
Good one? 5. Check your insights weekly. Seriously, see what's working, what's bombing, especially look at profile visits generated from stories. Adapt your strategy based on that data.
Data-driven decisions. And last one.
Collaborate. Tag other creators or brands. Do story takeovers if possible. Cross-promotion is powerful for tapping into new audiences who might then check out your profile.
Awesome. That's a really solid plan. Plan, interact, push to profile, use highlights, analyze, collaborate.
Pretty much sums it up. It shows that stories, used smartly, are way more than just temporary fluff. They're a dynamic tool for real growth.
Yeah, it really reframes them. Not just disposable content, but an engine for building connection and driving people back to your main hub.
Exactly. Intentional content, interactive features, visual recognition, good storytelling, it all works together to invite people in.
And it compounds, right? Each interaction, each profile visit reinforces your value to both the audience and the algorithm.
Absolutely. It builds momentum. So the call to action is clear. Start putting these steps into practice. Use those polls, craft those teasers, make those highlights shine. Turn that fleeting curiosity into solid clicks and ultimately loyal followers.
Love it. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Just imagine the impact if you consistently applied even one or two of these strategies over the next few months. That steady effort with stories could really make a significant difference to your Instagram growth. It's about making those everyday glimpses work harder for you.